Love it. What's up? What's up? More people are getting on. It's going to be a packed call. I'm talking about one of my favorite topics on the planet, which is making money online and how to turn that into freedom. It is exactly 5 p.m. Pacific time. Yes, this is actually live. I've never believed in doing fake live webinars like a lot of other people do. This is actually live. Okay. Wherever you are in the world, we are live, and we're talking about how to make money online, how to turn that money into freedom, and my favorite side hustles, as well as my favorite 6 crypto coins. Stay tuned. Let me get the screen share going, and we're all good to go. Hold on one second, guys. All right. Can you guys see that? Are we good to go? Let me know if we're good to go. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me, perfect. All right. Welcome, guys. We're going to be online here today for 60 to 90 minutes. And before this Zoom call ends, before this training ends, you will learn how to make money online, and you will know very clearly why most people don't. Now, either as a side hustle or a full-time business, okay? Whatever is up to you. But my promise to you today is this. My promise is I'm going to literally pull back the curtain of my internet money playbook and share the exact 3-step system I've used to make 6 or 7 figures plus in 9 different online industries. Now, this is without being a techie person and with not a lot of experience. How many of you guys would love to make money from a laptop or a phone? Raise your hand. Most of you guys, right? Brian, Ray, Zil, Kion, Travis, Jessica, Jalen, all of you, Nikki, yes. Everybody would, right? Now, I'm going to also share the 8 most proven and lucrative ways to make money online and how to start right now. Okay. I'm also going to share the biggest avoidable mistakes that cause a majority of people to fail online and why most people don't make money. And most importantly, I'm going to talk about how this ties into creating freedom to live a life on your terms and really how to turn that into a lifestyle and not just a hobby. Now, for those of you guys who stay till the end, you're going to have 3 very important advantages. So you guys that are dedicated, you guys that are going to stay till the very end of this training, we're going to do a lot of Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, hold them till the end and I'll answer all of them. You're also going to get my exclusive deep dive internet money playbook PDF that I'm working on right now. You're going to get VIP access to that for free just by staying to the end. And we can monitor and watch when people get off and who stays till the end. You're also going to get at the end of the last thing I'm going to talk about is the exact 14 ways that I've made 6 or 7 figures. 9 of them are online. The other 5 aren't, but I'm going to share with you the exact 14 ways. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. We have 14, and I want to share every one of those with you. And the third thing is you're going to get the slides and the recording. But 3 rules before we begin. 1, we're going to have some fun. Okay. This isn't going to be long and mundane and boring. We're going to have some fun. All right. And I promise to give you 110%. And this is going to be an interactive presentation. So if I ask questions, please shout back the answer, raise your hand, comment the answer. I want this to be engaging. The more energy you guys give me, the more excited I get. And you also have to promise that you'll take action. Okay. I like dealing with action takers. So if I give you an action step, promise me that you'll actually execute and take action, because these days, too many people talk about it and they talk a great game and they talk about becoming successful and making money online, but no one ever takes any action. And no one ever invests in themselves, okay? So I want you guys to be the action takers, right? I also have something unique at the end I've never done, and I'll probably never do again, and I think you'll be excited about it. And if you enjoy this training and want to go deeper, then you can check that out too. I've been working on something since last year, and you'll have a very exclusive access to this. But I do, before we get started, we are in a now or never moment in our society. But I want to acknowledge you first for investing your time into personal growth. You are somebody who believes in the power of investing yourself. Time is more important than money, because you can always make more money, but you can't get more time. And if you're spending your time here with me, I know it's invested wisely, and you're the type of person who understands the benefit and the payoff. You are the action takers. You're the type that don't wait for opportunity. You create it. So congratulations, and please pat yourself on the back for being here. Forbes says less than 10% of people invest in themselves. Like literally less than 10% of people invest in their perspective, into their mindset, into growth, into success. And of course, the 10% who do invest usually make more money than everyone else combined. So I know you're an overachiever. I know you're an action taker, and you're the people I want to spend time with today. So much respect to you. You're the cream of the crop. And most people kind of watch their lives pass them by. You're the type that make things happen, and you understand the importance of cutting your learning curve in half. You're in the right spot at the right time. I don't get scared or fearful often, but I'm pretty scared for the people who don't take this time serious, as they're going to get crushed in the next 6 months. Because right now we're in a now or never moment. And I don't know about you, but in the past, I've looked in the mirror and thought to myself, like, wow, I wish I was further ahead, or I wish I prepared for what happened, or this crisis. We're living through a pretty crazy time, and a lot of the jobs that people thought were super secure aren't secure anymore. A lot of bank accounts that people thought were super filled and secure, they don't look that good. And you're not alone. Millions of people are feeling the same way as I have. But the question I had to ask myself when I was at that point is, what am I going to do about it? And now more than ever, it's important to double down on your learning and take advantage of all the opportunities that are out there. So there is good and bad news, right? Right now, people are going through struggle. I'm not the type to hide my head in the sand and say no one's struggling. There's real struggle. Most people are stressed, underpaid, and overwhelmed. And there's so many articles coming out that US workers are losing their jobs because of AI. 40 million people have lost their jobs since the pandemic. I think in the last 6 weeks, 18 more million people have lost their jobs. Businesses are going bankrupt at a massive rate. And as this recession continues, there's a lot of fear. I've received a lot of messages from people who are panicking. They think they're going to get fired, their sales will dry up, they're scared their business will collapse, they're fearful their income's going to disappear, and they're lost, and they're not sure what to do next, and they're scared for their future. I know somebody a while back at the beginning of this pandemic who went to 8 years of college, had the same job 15 years, loyal, never was late, and she got fired with no notice and no support. You go to 8 years of college for a certain job, you work at the job 15 years, and they say, see ya. You really find out who has your back during times of struggle. You think colleges have your back, you think companies have your back, you think the government has your back. The only person that really has your back that you can count on is yourself and the people closest to you. And sometimes not even them, right? You're all you got. So now it's time to move a little bit different, because the plans that everybody had even 6 months ago are now irrelevant. Okay. Although 95% of people are stressed, underpaid, and overwhelmed, here's the good news. This is the greatest time in human history to be alive. This is the biggest wealth transfer that's ever existed. And there's articles coming out every day. There's 1,700 new millionaires created every single day. Over 50,000 a month. And that number is expected to double the next 6 months. More wealth is being created than ever. There'll be numerous opportunities that will arise over the next couple months. And it's important that you prepare yourself for those opportunities, not just for you, but for your family and those counting on you. Credit Karma, Venmo, WhatsApp, Uber, Groupon, Instagram, Pinterest, Slack. These were all created in the last recession. So why do I bring this up before I really dive in? Because so many people make the mistake of thinking that when things are tough, when there's an economic downturn, you need to be super conservative, protect what you have, and kind of wait. And that's not true. Right now, you need to be thinking proactively. You need to level up and be a forward thinker, right? Because the game has changed. The greatest wealth transfer is happening right now. There's articles all over the place. We had just in one of our group chats, we had a young entrepreneur who's 23 years old, just posted this like 2 days ago. So I threw it in last second because he talked about the wealth transfer. So this is from a young kid. He said, I started with $30K student loan in February, and now I'm around 2 million. Peter Voogd says it right. Greatest transfer of wealth is happening in 2021. So we have young kids, 20, 22, 23, making millions of dollars, right? But here's the scary thing. There's a big opportunity cost by not knowing some of these things I'm going to share. So I'm so glad you're on this training today. Very, very wise move for watching this, because you're leaving thousands on the table not knowing some of these simple, yet very powerful truths and stats that I'm going to share with you. Okay? Because like I said, the game has changed. How is there 19 and 20? I just showed you a 23-year-old that has $2 million in his bank account, and there's broke 50-year-olds, right? It's adapt or die. And a lot of people say, yeah, but I have 20 years of experience. No, you have 1 year repeated 20 times. If you're not doing the same thing, if you're doing the same thing over and over, you don't have 20 years of experience. You have 1 year repeated over and over again. So how does 18-year-olds that I know make $1 million, six figures, and some 40, 50-year-olds are dead broke and confused? Because one's willing to adapt, one's willing to pivot and change and learn new skills, and one's stubborn and thinks they're a know-it-all and doesn't ever want to learn. Experience and age has now become irrelevant. That's scary. So it doesn't matter if you're watching this and you're 17 or you're 68 years old. It doesn't matter. So here's the truths that must be understood in this new economy. The three truths to the new economy. One, you can make more money in a down economy than you ever could in great times. There's more money being made. 76% of the top 500 companies in all of history were created in a recession or depression. You can make more money in a downtime than you ever could in great times. So understand that. Number two, you can get maximum profit when there's maximum pessimism. When people are in fear is when you should be confident and you can control more of the market share. It's easier to negotiate, right? If you're around people that are confident, you can maximize profits when there's maximum pessimism. And the third one I'm going to share with you changed my life. I'm getting into business. I'm struggling. I'm working 80 hours a week. I'm up in Tacoma, Washington, starting my own business. I dropped out of college. I'm trying to prove people wrong. Everyone tells me I shouldn't do it. I made the wrong decision and I have no money. I'm struggling. I'm working 80 hours a week. Everyone tells me just work harder. By the way, I realize that's not the answer. It's not about working harder or smarter. It's about working right. I had to learn the hard way. So I was working 80 hours a week. Someone I met up there says, hey, I'd love to have you go to this business meeting with some of my friends. They're successful. They like to kind of share ideas and mastermind every month. Would you like to go? And of course, I said, no, I'm too busy, which is when you think about how dumb that is. My business is struggling, but I'm saying I'm too busy to grow, right? Because I'm so stuck in the trenches. So finally, I got desperate and I had no hope. I was like, I'm going to go see what they have to offer. There's a person, and this was 2008, when the previous recession hit. So not only am I struggling, there's a recession, and I'm from a super small town. So in my head, I'm thinking there's no money. I'm freaked out. I didn't want to quit, but I was on the verge. So I go to this meeting, and later did I figured out this is called a mastermind, where other people get together and brainstorm and share ideas, which is one of the things that changed my life. So the person that was speaking was very successful. He had the success I wanted. So I wanted to listen and learn if I can learn something new and figure out why I was struggling and working so many hours. And this is what he said that changed my life. When the economy is down, the money doesn't disappear. It just transfers hands to the successful people who do these things I'm going to talk about. It transfers hands to people who understand economics and understand how to make money online, because that's where all the money's going. So you have to understand. Now, it's counterproductive because I'm from a small town of 6,000 people in Oregon. So when the economy's down, everyone freaks out and everyone holds their money for a rainy day and no one even thinks about making money. So I had my small town kept me small-minded until I met this guy. So realize right now, if the economy's down, the money's not disappearing in thin air. It's just going to the successful people, which I want you to get your share and finally take advantage of what's happening. And remember, this I learned the hard way. Your current reality is based on who you get advice and perspective from. So make sure the people you're listening to are successful and where you want to be. Take very few opinions. So I don't want to talk too much about myself, but I just want to share kind of some context of where I'm from and how I was able to learn some of these online skills. So this was me when I was 17. My first job, I'm valeting cars at a local casino. I'm from a small town of 6,000 people on the Oregon coast. Most of you guys have probably never heard about it unless you're from Oregon, and you probably have. I shouldn't be successful. I should be working a 9 to 5. I wasn't supposed to succeed. And nobody around me really had money. My mom was just starting out in real estate. My dad was doing construction. If you would have bet me I was going to make 6 figures, I would have laughed in your face. I knew nobody that was making 6 figures, and everybody around me had 9 to 5 jobs. I had so much energy, but I just felt lost. I didn't even know what the internet was, of course, right? I felt judged, which made me become an outcast, which caused me to rebel. I was that kid that other people's parents would tell their kids not to hang out with, right? I acted like it didn't hurt me, but it destroyed my confidence. So I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I wanted to start making money my own way, but everybody, including my parents, said you have to start with a 9 to 5. And I was like, no, I don't. But when you hear something enough, it becomes true in your head, right? So I got obviously the 9 to 5. I was valeting cars. I transferred high schools after my junior year. I dropped out of college my senior year to start a business and failed miserably. So I had dreams of being successful, but everyone was telling me to be realistic. I had to go to college. I was too young. I didn't have enough experience. And once again, if you keep hearing something, it becomes true in your head if you let it. So I was dead broke, discouraged, frustrated, had no clue what direction I wanted to take. I always blamed my past, where I was from, my age, my company, the economy. But once I took 100% responsibility for my life and business, everything changed. And when I learned these couple principles, and when I started doing the wrong things, it allowed me to understand what to do right. And that changed the game for me, right? So how do I go from this confused kid that has no money to 28 years old, becoming a 3 times best-selling author, selling over 500,000 copies, creating 6 and 7 figures in different income streams online, and being able to train 11,000 plus entrepreneurs personally while reaching millions per month? Okay. I'm going to share exactly what I did wrong and what I did right to hopefully cut your learning curve in half. And the only reason I put this up here, I don't like bragging about myself at all. It's not about me. It's about you. But I just see too many people who don't have results teaching people how to get results, or have never been in the trenches, have never failed, have never actually done it. And that's all I've been doing for the last 12 years is actually doing it. So this is my book, 6 Months to 6 Figures. It's routinely on the homepage of Audible with Tony Robbins and Stephen Covey. This is me speaking in Dubai. I've been featured in a lot of publications because of the work I've done online. Top 6 millennial mentors to follow in 2016, top 12 motivational men. This was earlier, end of last year. Peter Vuga is one of the top 20 entrepreneurs to watch. This was super humbling. It was crazy. This got viewed by millions and millions of people. And now I've been in Forbes 4 times now. I've become an international speaker. I've spoken in front of 3, 4, 5,000 people all over the world. This is me in Cancun, Cabo. Our YouTube's reaching millions of people. I've been interviewing people like Grant Cardone and all kinds of very successful people. This is some of the YouTube views that we have. This is a course called 6 Months to 6 Figures that now has 40,000 people that have taken this course. So for me, it's humbling knowing that I've changed 40,000 people's lives through this course. This was crazy because Entrepreneur Magazine was the magazine that kind of helped me get through my college days because I wasn't into academics. I felt like I was wasting my time and I felt like an outcast because I wanted to start my own business. And this magazine kind of made me feel normal, right? So when I got featured in it, I freaked out. My mom actually freaked out. My grandma bought like 3 copies. It's still in her house right now. It's just really funny. It's all tore up, but she keeps it in her house, which is cool. She's proud. So I got quoted by Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine. But more important than that, who am I and what's happened in the last couple of years? Well, I've been making money online since 2013. I failed miserably the first 2.5 years and literally didn't make anything. 6 million in the last 4 years. And more than money, I'm more obsessed with lifestyle and freedom because I know people making millions and millions, but they do not have a lifestyle they're proud of. They're stuck to their computer. They're stuck to their job. They're stuck to their office and they have no freedom and they hate it. So I've been more obsessed with freedom and lifestyle to do what I want on my terms. I've now, which gives me more fulfillment, helped others make millions online. And personally, I feel like I've made every single failure in the book. Okay. Now, when I thought about myself, I didn't want to show these numbers. When I thought about others' opinions, I didn't want to show these numbers. But when I thought about what was best for you to reassure you you're in the right spot, I wanted to put up some actual numbers from some of our dashboards. Okay, I think we've done almost 1 million in the last couple months. This is not to brag, it's to show you we're really doing it, and I want to help you do the same thing. So this was from last year. In October, we were at 300,000. Now, there's many different ways to take payments online. Okay, these are just a couple different ones. Infusionsoft, ClickFunnels, PayPal. You will learn that. The tech stuff's easy now, right? So this was last year, October. This was March 2021. We already hit that goal. Now in May, this was last Sunday, we're at almost I believe we're almost at 500 now, right? And then this is another 178,000. This is PayPal, general payments. This is credit card deposits. This is total for our authorized.net merch receipts. This is in the last 12 months of ClickFunnels. This is $250,000. And then this is Infusionsoft the last 3 years. So this is some of the money that is available online. And this is from someone from a super small town who didn't know what he was doing till I figured out this system. But I want to share this with you. How do you feel? How do you view making money online? How do you feel when you see others crushing it? How do you feel when you know someone 23 years old has $2 million in their bank account? There's enough success and income for everybody to win, but your view on making money determines if you ever make any and how well you do. Are you thinking, I can't believe this kid is making this kind of money. I've been slaving and making $60,000 a year, working every day, and he's traveling the world making millions. I can't believe that. That's not fair. Or are you like, dude, I'm so excited to make this happen for myself and my family. I'm finally ready to take advantage of something that's undeniable, right? So keep that in mind. You'll never be successful if you base your future off your past, right? So how do you view new opportunities? Very important. They say broke people are usually skeptical of everything, right? It takes courage to be open-minded, right? So before you understand the concept of making money, you have to be sold on the importance of it and realize the shift has already happened. The shift has already happened. So I want to give you some key things to think about and the importance of making money online, okay? Imagine getting paid for your value and intelligence, not your time. Imagine being able to attract people from all over the world and impact people all over the world. Imagine having the freedom, and really imagine having your market be endless, where it's not just your hometown, you are attracting people everywhere. Imagine having no ceiling to how much money you can make. Imagine having the freedom to do what you want, when you want, on your terms. Imagine traveling to your favorite places and making more money while traveling. Imagine not having to dread coming back to work towards the end of your travel. I used to hate that. And imagine waking up when you want and working when you know you're the most creative and you have the most willpower, right? Now, reasons come first, results come second. So you have to know why you want to make money online. You can't just say you want to make money online. You have to know why. You have to understand what happens when you see other people make money online. Are you excited for them? Are you saying you're next? Or are you salty and bitter? Right? Like I was at the beginning. So once again, it blows my mind thinking about how far I've came, because this is me at 19, confused in college, drinking every night. And I'm from a small town. But here's what happened over time. My reasons piled up. My reasons kept piling up. I didn't like others telling me what to do. I distinctly remember the feeling I get when other people tell me what I'm worth. I hated that I had to ask permission to go to the restroom. I have to do that when I'm in fourth grade in school because there's a class going on. But when I'm 18, 19 years old, asking for permission, I just didn't feel right. I hated having a ceiling that demotivated me. I didn't like lack of choices. I remember being in a restaurant when I was younger, and I didn't want to get an appetizer. I didn't want to get a drink. I wanted to keep the meal as cheap as possible. And I hated that lack of choices. I never enjoyed vacations because at the end, the last 2 or 3 days of the vacation, I was dreading going back to work so much that I didn't even enjoy the vacation. And I couldn't sleep because I knew I had more potential and I was wasting it, right? And eventually the reasons continued to evolve. So now I have a wife and a son. This is Santana, who's now 19 months. You might be able to hear him screaming in the background. But now my reasons are more strong than ever, right? So I want to dive into first why I failed at the beginning and why I see a lot of people fail. First, I tried to do everything myself. Okay. And I think the figure it out mentality is one of the top reasons most never reach the $1 million mark. Right. I also was taking way too many opinions. I was listening to too many opinions, right? Only take advice from people who you would trade places with. Okay. I actually started making money. I discovered eBay. Okay. When I was 16, 17, I started making money online. And I remember making more money than my friend who was working with my dad doing construction. They were paying him $7 an hour. He made $63 in a day, and I made 91 selling one pair of shoes. And I go, oh my gosh, this is the key out of this hard labor. I'm gonna be wealthy. I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. But every single person around me, here's a question I'm curious about. How many of you guys have had goals of making money online or being an entrepreneur or being successful, but everybody around you is pulling you back or telling you that it's not possible? Raise your hand. Jake, Shay, James, Michelle, a lot of you guys. I'm the same. It happened to me too. And once again, it kind of beats the entrepreneur out of you, right? And another reason I failed is I thought I had to be techie. And these days, you don't have to be techie at all. But why I succeeded, here's where it gets good. I'm going to finally dive in. I found a proven roadmap. I changed my mentality, and I elevated who I was around. That's it. That's it. I found a roadmap. So here's what's cool. It doesn't matter if you're 16 or 60. If you have a roadmap, if you change your mentality, and if you elevate who you're around, this is why we see 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds crushing it right now and stubborn people failing. This is why, right? So I want to dive right into the side hustles, okay? Because I'm excited now. I'm getting fired up, and I want to share these with you. So this is the shift that I've seen. There's a huge shift happening in our society right now, like I said. And when you have a proven roadmap and you understand the purpose of business, which I'll share, the world is yours and you have endless possibilities. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the 3-step system, but I want to talk about the proven side hustles first because all of these have the same formula for success. Okay, first one. Now, these are very proven, and I know people in each of these making 6, 7+ figures. Right? First, coaching and mentorship. Okay. This industry has blown up the previous couple of years. This is the ability to help someone else. Teachers, mentors, trainers, instructors are all coaches. Just literally like 3 weeks ago, and I saw her again the other day. I'm at a coffee shop sitting outside working, and this lady met with 2 different kids while I was there, probably like for an hour. Just a kid came and sat, got their journal out, books out. They were talking. It was like looks like a therapy session. Then the kid left. Another kid came, and they were writing things in their journal. And I was so curious. I asked the girl before I left. I said, "What were you? Are you a teacher? Are you training?" She was helping them. Literally, she is a coach that helps people be confident in public, get over social anxiety. She charges $250 a month to help kids with social anxiety. The parents usually pay for it, but she does 4 kids a week. 16 a month at $250, that's $4K a month. That's $50K extra a year to sit outside of a coffee shop and help people. How many of you guys would love $50K extra a year, right? Or just $4K extra a month? That's just a simple example that I just saw a couple of weeks ago, right? Coaching and mentorship, masterminds and virtual workshops, putting workshops online on Zoom, running in-person masterminds, bringing in other experts, other high-level people to bounce ideas off. You can be a facilitator, or you can be the one providing value. You can build yourself mastermind groups. You can form some inside your industry and some outside your industry, right? So in terms of masterminds, you can teach a language, So me and my wife are trying to learn Spanish and we cannot find someone. I would pay thousands of dollars, I'm not joking, per month if someone would come to my house and teach me like twice a week. We just can't find anybody. We have to go places. It's inconvenient. So there's just so many ways to make money. How to read quicker. I have a guy that's been in our inner circle named David who makes $250,000 a year teaching people how to fly a drone. That's all he teaches, how to fly a drone. Makes $250,000. Photography for the brand, photography for a wedding, for your company, for a family, teaching people how to use IG or TikTok or YouTube or Facebook ads, teaching people how to create snippets or swipe ups. I mean, teaching people how to knit, how to garden, how to grow their own food, how to be more healthy, health and fitness, going to people's houses, group trainings. I know my trainer comes here a couple times a week. He trains me and my wife, and he's making thousands of dollars per month and loves what he does and does it on his terms, right? Purposeful sales. This is a big one. So there's coaching, there's mentorship, and then there's virtual workshops, or there's in-person. Purposeful sales is something that means something to you or something that you like selling, right? So someone's like, I'm not a salesman. No one's a salesman until they love what they're selling. Then they become naturally passionate and then they sell stuff, right? So solar people, we have a couple kids that are doing 15, 20K a month in solar sales that we know, right? Windows, glass doors. I sold knives when I was younger, right? Real estate, insurance. You can sell other people's high-end courses. I remember about 19, 20 months ago, I partnered with Tony Robbins, the biggest in the game, and I pushed one of his courses to some people I knew, to my audience. We did about 90,000 of his courses and I split it with them 50-50. Right? So sales, you can sell things. Sales is like the highest paid profession, and it's the best thing you can do to develop negotiation skills, to develop confidence, to get rejected, right? Next, online courses or challenges. Same thing I already talked about. A course is something you create once and sell it over and over and over again. Knowledge is power, and if you have specialized knowledge, it is worth a significant amount to people. Whatever you're best at, teach people to succeed at that or solve a problem, and you can get paid for it, right? There's all kinds of courses out there, right? E-commerce, drop shipping. Now, I'm not going to dive into what these are and how to get into them. That's a whole different subject. You can do your own research. These are just the most lucrative and the top ones. I will tell you how to succeed at these next, but I'm not going to go detail. The convenience model. Okay, what this means is, what is a problem that needs solving in the current state of the economy? This is called the convenience model, okay? Based on your location and where you are. Babysitting multiple kids is very, very big right now. People are paying $18, $20, $30 an hour. Teaching entrepreneur classes on Zoom to students. We were in Vegas a while back, and my wife plays poker. She was playing poker. And there's not a lot of healthy food in casinos, okay? Just an example to get your mind going. And there's a lot of vegetarians, a lot of healthy people, more than ever now. So a lot of the food places are not catching up to the trend of healthy people. People value health more than ever. So there was a girl that was making a killing that would just bring vegan food tableside to the players and to people at casinos. She'd charge a lot. People didn't care. She'd bring them the food that they could have. Making a killing. I believe she was making 6 figures. I know a guy who makes $5K a month just offering to redo people's Airbnb pictures in their area and then letting them know that they can they'll redo all the copy for them as well. And they'll do it for free at first. Once they see an improvement in sales and improvement in bookings, then they can pay them. He's making $5K a month. He only has a couple clients. If you go to Airbnb and you look at some of the pictures, they're horrible, like horrible. Some places I probably would have stayed at if the pictures were better, but the pictures are just horrible, right? So keep that in mind. That's another way, the convenience model, okay? Multiple real estate avenues, fix and flips. You don't need to have your own money, right? You can there's all kinds of ways to make money with real estate. There's all kinds of trainings. I'm not going to dive into that. I've been doing real estate for the last 10, 11 years. And it's a great, great model. You can find investors and you can get paid a fee. You can partner with a company that has great deals. You can go find wealthy people that are looking for great deals and hook them up with the deals and hook up real estate companies with investors, right? And you make a killing doing that as well. Cryptocurrency, Forex, crypto is needed at the highest level, and I am a big advocate for cryptocurrency. And I have seen firsthand this change families' lives the last couple of years. Okay, this isn't a training promoting crypto, but I want to share why I like it. And I see it helping a lot of people escape the rat race. Okay, so I'm going to share kind of why I love cryptocurrency. I'm going to go through these 5 and then talk about it. 1, the technology is proven, needed, and it's unhackable. Bitcoin is unhackable. It's never once been hacked since 2009, and people try every single day. The technology is very proven, very needed, and it's unhackable. Some of the world's brightest minds, some of the most insanely intelligent people are behind it and invest in it and use it. It bridges the gap, okay, and it's innovation without permission. Now, over 40% of all the money printed in the history of time was printed the last 2 years. Okay? Now, I can't stand somebody else controlling my money. I love freedom, which is what first got me attracted to crypto back in 2017. Bitcoin is money for the people, and there's currently 6.5 billion people who don't have access to bank accounts. This bridges that gap. Bitcoin is innovation without permission, okay? And we saw a healthy correction in the market because of how much publicity it's getting in the worldwide adoption, with Tesla buying in and all kinds of companies coming out saying they've invested and bought it. But what's cool is even when crypto dips and Bitcoin dips, it's never not gone back up to an all-time high, not once, right? So it's the first network-centric protocol-based form of money, which I really, really like. And it's freedom to send, 24/7 global censorship-resistant electronic cash. We've had people buy properties, okay? I have friends that have bought properties in Tulum with Bitcoin. I've seen people send $500,000 of Bitcoin in 4 minutes, and it cost $20 instantly. It gets there, and this could be on a Saturday when all the banks are closed. And not only do the banks borrow your money and pay you 0.003% interest, then go out and give your money out and charge 25% interest, they're using your money to make themselves more money and giving you nothing. The dollar and the fiat is dying at record paces. I think the inflation's 5+% now. So it just scares me not to have money in something that is proven and unhackable right now, right? So I want to share, and I've never shared this except in my inner circle, my favorite crypto projects, the ones that I'm heavily invested in. Now, of course, do your own research. This isn't financial advice, but I'm going to share with you the top 6 that I believe strongly in, and then I'm going to share with you what I look for in actual projects. Okay. First one's obvious. People ask, what if I only have 10 grand, 5 grand, 20 grand, $500? It's always Bitcoin, Ethereum. The partnerships they've backed, I don't care if it's Chase, I don't care if it's Wells Fargo now accepting Bitcoin and thinking about accepting more Bitcoin and doing some investing as well. There's a lot of things behind the scenes. Okay. These are the 2 that I'm very bullish and strong about. There's Cardano, ADA. There's VeChain, which is VET. There's Solana, which is SOL. And there's Matic. Okay. Here's what you have to look for, okay? For me, there's 5 things. The people involved, the pedigree of people, the people that are behind the actual technology. How intelligent are they? Where have they worked before? Were they the main engineer behind Facebook? I want brilliant minds of the highest integrity behind things I support. I look for partnerships and projects they've already locked in or they're working on. I look for total circulation, and if they're creating more and how often. Why I like Bitcoin, is it a fixed 21 million Bitcoin? Nothing else will ever be created. That's why over time, the value of Bitcoin will go up. It's 100% certain it will go up, right? We always get the scared people out the market when Bitcoin goes down because they're scared. But the people with certainty that hold, the price always goes up. People forget in the last 12 months, it's up 400%, right? What other assets up that much? I also look for how big of a problem does it solve. And then I look for the 5, for me, I have 5 very successful people I know that are, in my eyes, they're genius. They're brilliant. And I always walk through the projects and I walk through these with them, and I make sure they also support them and they've done their research as well. I also study the CEO of these projects and exactly what they do. Okay. Those are my favorite. Here's what I've learned. Here's what I've learned personally. The 3-step process to making money online and turning that into a lifestyle of freedom. Now, here's the cool thing. When you see those other, the 8 side hustles I shared with you, none of those matter if you don't have this 3-step process. Okay. None of that matters if you don't know how to actually turn that into success and turn it into real results. So step 1, you have to shift from complexity to simplicity. Okay. And here's what I really want to get across. The avenue is secondary to understanding the purpose of business. And that's why when someone teaches these things and they forget the actual system on how to actually make money, I laugh. A lot of people teach e-commerce. A lot of people teach crypto. A lot of people teach how to create courses, but they don't actually teach how to get results with it and make money. That's where I laugh. And that's why I want to share this, so you actually can make money from these things. So shift from complexity to simplicity. First truth. This is the biggest mistake I see. People try so hard to sell themselves and their expertise, not the solution or outcome to the prospect's problem or desire. No one cares what you've done, and no one cares about your expertise. They care what you can do for them. The marketplace doesn't respond because you want something. This took me years to figure out. The first 2 years I was thinking, I think people want this. I'm going to create it because I think people need it. I think is not how you make money online. I think is how you go broke, right? Thinking I needed to have a lot of experience. Then I remembered I made $91 on profit on eBay when I was 15 or 16. eBay didn't care if I was 15 or 75. My customer I sold the shoes to didn't care if I was 15 or 75. I remember running a sales team when I was 23 years old. Most of the people I interviewed were older than me. I didn't sell my expertise or what results I got. I sold them the opportunity to build a life on their terms and to finally have financial freedom. People care what you can do for them, not about what you've done. Okay, age and experience are secondary to getting people real results. And I used to forget this when I started creating content. I was trying to sell people, but I was throwing up all over them by giving them all my results. That's why I went through what I've done in the past in 4 minutes, right? So customers only buy when they feel understood, not when they understand you. This changed my life. All right. So now, once you understand this, now you got to understand the purpose of business. The entire purpose of business, the end result of business. Every business that understands this will thrive in the next 12 months. The whole purpose of business is to create followers. Okay, that's first. Followers are people that follow what you do. You can share something online. Now, followers don't equal money at all. I know a lot of people with a lot of followers that make no money. But followers happen when you share something online, you share something inspiring, you tweet something inspirational, you get a follower. Now you got to turn the follower into a supporter by being consistent, being relevant, and maybe sharing things on different platforms. How you turn supporters to believers is you're authentic. You're giving them real value. Okay. They know you're the real deal. You're starting to get them some results. But the whole purpose of business is to create raving fans. Whoever has the most raving fans makes the most money. And raving fans are people that love what you do and they tell everyone about you. Okay. Apple has some of the most raving fans on the planet. People hate them, but they have raving fans. The most successful businesses have raving fans. That's the whole purpose of business. How do you get raving fans? Only one way. You get somebody a result. You're providing better value than most pay for. They lost 5 pounds because of you. They increased their bottom line. They made an extra $5K a month. They built a relationship. They quit their corporate job. They got rid of a toxic relationship. When you actually get people results, when you shift their emotional frequency, you help them live better, you'll create a raving fan for life. That's the purpose of business, is to create raving fans. Number one. So right now, how many raving fans do you have that you've actually gotten real results for? It's the first key. Untold secret number 2, creating your tribe online. Another big issue I see is too many people are asking for things before adding any real value. And remember, people's favorite radio station, guys, is What's in It for Me, WIFM. You wouldn't believe the emails I get every day. Hey, I have this thing. I'm sharing this. I want you to be part of my summit because we have all, no one cares about, they care what's in it for them. So if you're asking somebody for money before you actually add value to them, that was 2017. In 2021, 2, 3, you have to add value before you ask for anything, right? So that comes with posting and promoting free content. The likelihood of the marketplace responding because you want something is 0. So claim and master a topic that you like. What are you good at? What do you know that others don't? What's something you've studied or enjoy? Where are you a couple steps ahead of other people? And then start creating content. People love to overcomplicate and overthink. Start creating content. You can inspire them, you can entertain them, or you can educate them, or do all 3 simultaneously. Okay? Artists that have the most raving fans make the most money. People can hate on Justin Bieber all you want, but he's getting, I think, $500,000-$600,000 for a post if he promotes something because of his raving fans. He doesn't care if you like him or not. He cares about spending 5 minutes on a post and looking at his bank account. It has $500,000 more in it. Right? So raving fans is the answer. Document your journey. This is big. If you don't have money and you're just starting out, document your journey. Hey, I'm just starting out. Just watch this training. Here's some lessons I got. I'm going to document my first $10,000 in the crypto game, my first 10,000 e-commerce. I want you guys to join me. Then when I do this 10K, I want to reach back and help other people do it, right? Tactics, teaching. You can help people with challenges, sharing others inspiring content, right? Let me share with you a real world example, okay, from someone in our membership. This is Maverick. This is the exact example. Hey, game changers, I got my first client signed up from just the consistent free trainings I've been posting regularly on the various platforms. Peter always preaches that consistency pays off, right? Well, my client followed me for a while on YouTube, then on Instagram, then finally decided I was legit and that I was serious about helping and serving my followers. So he DM'd me via LinkedIn and asked if I offered one-on-one mentorship or coaching. He then asked if he could call me to discuss options and pricing. 10 minutes later, he tells me he's all in for a $2,000 package. I'm thrilled. All he did was add value. Now, how would you guys feel making $2,000 extra a month? Maybe he'll get 3 clients and it's $6,000 extra a month. What if he pushed hard and got 4 clients at $8,000 a month? That's pretty much 6 figures, right? So keep that in mind. You get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. And if you're not very valuable, you don't make much money. Here's my secret hack. Give away your best content at the beginning and make it a point to give away better content than most pay thousands for. This forces you to level up and create even better content. So it's a win-win situation. Here's another example, okay? Your customers are the marketing geniuses. So this is Josh. I got my first sale today of my course. I haven't even launched it yet, but I wanted someone to test it to make sure everything was working. I put up a post for a couple hours and had many people eager to buy. I selected one and hopefully some of the rest will join on my webinar on Tuesday. So people, you think that you're the genius. No, your customers will tell you what they want. So when you put out free content and you start creating some fans, you just ask them what they want, you create it, and then they pay. Most people don't do this. And the ultimate secret weapon is elevating your circle of influence and your network. Okay, your circle of influence is a single most important aspect of growth and results. Single most important aspect. Okay, but looking for ways to help people. Literally, if you want to make $1 million, just achieve any of the following. Make 1 million people feel better. Help 1 million people solve a problem. Educate them. Make them look better. Health, nutrition, clothing, makeup. Give them security, housing, safety, health. Raise a positive emotion, love, happiness, laughter. Satisfy appetites, food. make things easier, enhance their dreams. And I guarantee you, you'll make your first million. So next time you're kind of looking online and hoping to make money, sit back and say, what do I have to offer the world? Offer the world value, and money becomes magnetized to you. Okay. One of the biggest mistakes I made is thinking that the marketplace wanted something because I thought it did. So let me explain to you how this is so powerful. Your circle of influence, who you're around, is the number one aspect of your growth. Okay. Right network equals roadmap. So what I mean by that is, for me, I first got into direct sales, okay, when I was in college. Didn't know what I was doing. I was failing until I found a network of great people. They gave me a roadmap to follow. This raised my standards from what I was expecting for myself. And I saw a 25-year-old get a $40,000 bonus and was about to buy a second house. And that motivated me to go on and also make good money. I wanted to get paid to speak, but I had no clue how to speak. I had the wrong network of people telling me I had to do 500 free speeches, but Grant Cardone actually reached out. I reached out to him a bunch, and he helped me get my first paid speaking gig for $5,000 because I had a network. I wanted to become an author. I had no clue how to become an author. I didn't do well in school writing. I wasn't a writer, but I had a message I wanted to share. Okay. I didn't know how to write a book. I joined a mastermind filled with authors, and I got the exact roadmap. I wanted to become a writer for Entrepreneur and Forbes. I didn't know how to do that. I reached out to people I knew. I elevated my network, and someone gave me a contact, and I was able to write for Entrepreneur Magazine and Forbes. I wanted to make money online while traveling because I realized how much I like traveling the world, and I saw people making money while traveling, and I wanted to do the same thing. I didn't think it was possible. Okay. I started reaching out to people who were already doing it, and they gave me a roadmap. Investing in real estate. I wanted to create 6 figures in passive income. No idea how to do it. Someone from my network introduced me to a company that helped me create passive income. It was $32,000 a year to join, but I got it for free because of my connection. I wanted to invest in real estate overseas. Okay. I knew nothing about it till someone at one of my workshops, Carlos, his uncle, Tony, who some of you guys know, is a good friend, had a bunch of investment options overseas. We connected, and he got me access just from a network. I wanted to create courses and masterminds. You get the point. Same thing. I wanted to invest in crypto. I reached out to the best people. I went to Tokyo, and I met some of the biggest investors, and I was able to invest, and we've made an absolute killing and a big, big ROI on crypto. See, I'm not smart. I just find other people, and I cut my learning curve in half by investing in myself. So you don't need to figure it out when you have the right network. Write that down. You don't need to figure it out when you have the right network. They will figure it out for you. And your network instantly improves your positioning. And positioning is half the battle. Now, how many of you guys feel you could get better at networking or getting around higher level people? Raise your hand. I'm curious. Most of you. I'm glad you're engaged. I got to take some water. I'm fired up. All of you. This is the single-handedly biggest thing that for me helped me. So I tried to think back for me what changed it all. And it was a speaker at an event a long time ago that said, if you want to be a millionaire, talk to billionaires, you'll get there quicker. And at that moment, I realized I had to level up my network. So positioning means how you're viewed in the marketplace. A big hack on online money is instead of prospecting and looking for clients, when you're positioned right, people come to you instead of you chasing people. I'm going to explain how to do this, okay? When you position yourself correctly, you won't need to prospect. Are you guys getting value? Comment below if you're getting value. Hopefully, are you guys understanding this? Are you getting it? Is it helping? I know some of it's a little bit complex, but I didn't want to hold back. I'm going to simplify it at the end and give you like a simplified review and action plan of how to take advantage. But you guys getting stuff? Awesome. Just making sure. Love it. Cool. So when you position yourself correctly, you don't need to prospect. When you're positioned, you get more leads, you're better targeted, you can be more selective, you can charge more, you have more respect, more referrals, more media partners, and all kinds of things are easier when you're positioned the right way. And how you're viewed in the marketplace determines everything. All right. So after transitioning out of direct sales, I had some big goals. And I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to get on big podcasts. I wanted to travel. I wanted to reach more people, right? And I reached out to all these companies. I emailed, I said I would speak for free, and no one got back to me, right? I couldn't even get a free speech booked. Despite a ton of effort, I couldn't even move the needle. Now, fast forward, now I turn down speeches. Now I turn down all these things because I'm positioned and I can charge more. Okay. So in short, when I asked you guys about your goals of this training, a lot of you guys wanted to make more money in less time, which is funny, but that's the main thing. You guys wanted to make more money online and you wanted to work less than you're working now. In short, you wanted to make more money with less effort from one practice. Well, let me share the $20 million P90X secret. This is the founder of P90X, Tony Horton. I've interviewed him multiple times. I've been to his house. Great guy. P90X was actually struggling to get off the ground. They were about to go bankrupt. They had no money. They had all these amazing DVDs. And here's the crazy thing. It's not about the actual product. It's about the marketing of the product. I know products that are absolutely horrible that are making billions because they're marketed right and they're positioned right. I know game-changing, exceptional, outstanding products that no one knows about because they don't know how to market. So they couldn't market. Tony even told me they could not market. So one thing changed the game for them. This is one slide and it's just a picture. This is the number one thing that took P90X from 0 to 20 million quicker than any other workout DVD. And now it's the number one selling workout DVD of all time. So I don't care what you're selling. This is what they did. That's it. They put out a picture. That's called social proof. When you get people results, get testimonials. How many testimonials right now do you have online of people loving what you do? This is raving fans. Now, for an artist, this could be how many views do you have? How many people are sharing your stuff, right? If it's a product, if it's a service, if it's a mastermind, if it's a course, how many testimonials do you have online on your Instagram, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, on your YouTube, right? My first millionaire mentor told me something and I'll never forget it. He said, a smart person learns from their mistakes as all successful people do, but those wanting world-class results learn from other people's mistakes so they can shorten their learning curve and not make as much time, waste as much time making the same ones. So the top goals you guys had, make more money in less time. In short, okay, from one practice. Remember my failures. I tried to do everything myself. I wasn't betting on myself. I didn't invest in myself, and I thought I had to be tech savvy. The cost of these failures took me way more time. I was more stressed out. I had worse results. And here's the truth most people don't tell you. No matter how good the systems and the mechanics and the how-to information is, if you don't have this final piece, nothing will happen for you. This is something we don't naturally have, and it's the difference between the 95% from the 5%. Do you guys mind if I give you kind of a little bonus lesson that I threw in here? Yes? Okay, cool. It's not intelligence, motivation, or having a big vision. The most important element for creating the life and income you dream of that will take all these things I talk about and make it a reality is effective execution. Okay? Effective execution. So execution is what takes everything I've shared with you today and makes success possible. It's the only thing that produces real results. The most important element for creating the life and income you dream of, but it's the hardest thing to consistently do. So how do you become the 1% and finally master execution? There's 4 critical elements of effective execution. Number 1, simplify. Simplify. Okay? If there's overwhelm, you're going to seek distraction subconsciously. So you have to simplify what you want and why you want it and just what you're willing to give up to get there. That's it. Simplify. What's most important to you right now? Okay. What do you want and why? Most things don't matter. Right? So really, really simplify. Get rid of all the noise in your head. How serious are you about making money online? Most people say they're serious, but they're not. The second thing is prioritize. Okay. Is that the most important thing? It depends on what your situation is, right? But prioritize right now based on what stage you're at, what's most important to you. And then once you prioritize and you make a decision, then you got to sell yourself. Sell yourself. If you're not sold on something, you're going to procrastinate. So This is the number one reason procrastination happens is you're not fully sold. Some people say, I want help with procrastination. I want help in my e-commerce business. I want help in this. You're not actually sold on what you're doing. And when you're not sold, you seek distraction or you get distracted easy because there's other things that could take your attention. If you're fully sold. So for example, the divorce rates now is like 50, 60%. If someone's not 100% sold on their significant other and in their head, they think there's someone better, maybe they're not going to be all in. If someone's smoking and they don't sell themselves on how bad smoking is for them, they're going to keep smoking no matter what. Once they sell themselves on how bad it is, or they sell themselves off it, it's game over, right? So sell yourself on why you want to do what you do. And lastly, support. This is probably the biggest one. So here's why this is so crucial. Without proper support and systems in place, you'll find an excuse not to take action. And I've been there many times back in the day. You'll get distracted, you'll get pulled off your path, you'll be stopped when challenges arise, and you won't have the mental fortitude to push through. And worst of all, you'll start focusing on the wrong actions. You'll fool yourself thinking that you're progressing, but you're just being busy, right? And a year from now, you'll be in the same place you are today, or sometimes worse. The formula for massive success on and offline: proven systems and strategies, the right support. Leverage and freedom. When you have leverage, okay, that's when you have freedom. Leverage is being able to do what you want on your terms. And it's important. So for me, leverage means I used to starve and I would take $50 for a speech. And I promise when I had a kid, a son, a daughter, I would raise my fee and I wouldn't take on speeches because I didn't want to leave my family when Santana was younger the first month. Ironically, I got booked for 3 speeches the month of September when he was born. I turned down close to 30 grand, okay, because I said I would and because I had leverage and because I value freedom. So that's what you're going for, is leverage to do what you want on your terms. So this is me and she was my girlfriend at the time, now wife, traveling to Costa Rica, to Tulum, to Vegas, to all these places. Now, what's more rewarding for me is now I'm able to take people I care about. I took my mom to Greece, to Mykonos. I took her to Dubai, all kinds of places. Aspen, Colorado. This is what it's about. This is what you have to lock in on and really understand is the end result. And online can get you there. And then it gets crazier. Then she becomes pregnant. And now I have a son, which is the weirdest thing still. He's 19 months now. So he's growing up. Here he is now. This was a couple weeks ago. And then we find out, okay, so this is our family in Jackson Hole, Wyoming in November for my birthday. And then we find out she's pregnant again, unexpected, right? So, and I'm getting chills because this is what life's about for me, right? And then this is our daughter, Sienna, and this was a couple days ago. This is what it's about. What people don't understand is real freedom is priceless. Freedom to do what you want, when you want, wherever you want on your terms. That's priceless. Real peace of mind is priceless. Not having to do this training and doing it because I want to, because I'm excited to teach people and take people by the hand and help them take advantage of what's happening is priceless for me because I don't have to do it, but I want to and I love it, right? I'm super passionate. If you've built $1 million business, but you don't have a lifestyle you're inspired by, you did everything wrong because that's what it's about, right? Is having life on your terms. I know people, like I said, making $50 million, but they have 10,000 employees. They're at their office 100 hours a week. They never, ever have time for family. And their kids don't know who they are, right? That's not success to me. Here's a real world example. This is Josh from earlier. He's now 18. He was 17 when this happened. High school student from New Zealand. He had no network, lack of direction, was making $1,700 a month, pure ambition. He used these same strategies. He made the decision. He shifted his perspective. He invested in himself. He followed the proven system. He positioned himself correctly and he executed. And literally in 90 days, he 6x'd his income to over $10,000 a month. He was making more than his teacher. He said it was hard to pay attention in class, right? So I want to recap real quick. Lesson 1, shift from complexity to simplicity. The whole purpose of business is to create raving fans. That's it. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Start creating content online and build your tribe. It doesn't matter what your age is, where you live, what your experience is. It's not about you. It's about the people you're inspiring and the people you want to help. Okay, that's huge. And ask your audience what they want and deliver. And the bonus lesson, if you want to skip those things, if you want to skip doing all the steps and you want a proven roadmap, invest in yourself and find the best training and guidance. So we have a crypto group that a lot of people invest in, and we just tell them exactly what to do. They don't have to do all the research, and they benefit from it. They don't have to do all the due diligence, right? And the only way that I truly believe you're going to create a life and a business on your terms is by making money online. I wouldn't say this 5 years ago, but now I don't think there's a better way, because I still see people doing brick and mortar, and they still have to go there. They have to sit in traffic. They have to show up. They have to wait for people to come in, and they don't have leverage or flexibility, or they don't have a big upside. That's gone. You can work from home now. There's no more excuses left, right? And if you only make money when you work more hours, you'll never create real freedom. And I'll tell you guys, there's no more excuses left. Look around. There's no more excuses. The only limitations one has are those they've placed in their own mind from their past. I hope Christy's on. I'm not sure if she is or not. You can comment if you are. I put your WhatsApp message to our group in here. I want to read this to you guys because this is very inspiring. I hope it inspires you. This happened a couple weeks ago. I'm a 39-year-old. I work at Walmart as a food team associate. I have Charge syndrome and was born severely deaf and eyes that have coloboma and bother underdeveloped and spots on my retina. I have retardation of growth, meaning I didn't start developing physically until age 16. I dealt with severe depression. I developed a mindset that seems to say, for one thing I want to do, I can't do because I'm deaf and visually impaired. I have many challenges and obstacles due to my disabilities because of the things people tell me and the lies they implanted in my head, such as how immature and weird I am. Back in 2010, I became friends with an entrepreneur. I knew that's what I wanted, freedom. He suggested books like Rich Dad Poor Dad. I have been in SSI and Medicare all my life, and despite people tried to tell me, I knew I would run out. I wanted to be free from poverty. It's hard being disabled. I didn't need poverty to make it harder. Eventually, I came across Peter's book. I joined GCA. Shortly after joining, I received a Cohere implant that has made it so much easier for me to hear. Fast forward, I joined the crypto group. For the first time in my life, I exceeded my $10,000 barrier, and thanks to Doglon, which is one of the coins, made $15,000 in a couple days. That's more than I make in half a year. Now I'm finally getting close to six figures. And like I mentioned before, I may just reach it by August. I'm just getting started. This is from someone that literally had people telling her that because she's disabled, she's never going to have over 10 grand saved. So you guys have to understand 2021, there's more opportunity than I've ever seen in my life. I single-handedly are seeing people in different industries make millions. And I'm seeing stubborn people go broke. And don't just do this for you, do it for your family. So why are all the achievers? This is what happens. All the achievers, the people making the money, they invest in themselves. Why do the best entrepreneurs and influencers pay for masterminds? They pay $25K, $100K, even $1 million a year. Because the right guidance is a force multiplier that keeps you on track, moving towards your goal as efficiently and effectively as possible. Now you're here watching this training with me, right? You've shown you're committed to success. You're serious about success, right? You've seen the 3-step process to making money online, and you've seen where you can combine execution with a roadmap. You can literally do things you've dreamed of. You can travel, be with family more. You can grow and scale your online business once you decide what that is. You can make money not attached to your time. You have autonomy and freedom. You can replace stress with peace of mind. There's more opportunity than I've ever seen. Now, it depends on what you focus on, right? But if you're around the right people, you realize there's more than ever before. Yet, we've seen more people than ever struggling, hating their work and stressing about money and working too hard for little results. Now, let me ask you a question real quick. I know I talk fast, and I know the past 45 minutes to an hour have been fun, but maybe you've felt like this. Raise your hand if you kind of are a little bit overwhelmed right now and you kind of feel like that. Well, more of you guys than I thought. All right. I love that picture. It's funny. Well, if I had a way for you to continue this conversation, would it be interesting to you? How many would like to kind of get access to a very exclusive and proven system and networking community? If you don't mind, I put together kind of a unique package involving our 6 months of six figures course and some very exclusive interviews I've done. And I want to show you that. Is that cool? So you understand the importance of making money online, right? And you understand the importance of having a system if you want to get the 6 figures and past 7 figures. If you're here with me right now, I'm guessing you want another level of life. I'm confidently assuming you have a nagging pull inside you and you're here for a reason. Whether it's to take care of people around you, to be one of those people that does capitalize on what's happening and to create certainty for your future. You probably know you need to go online, but you need guidance. Maybe you want another revenue stream, not attached to your time, but you don't know what actions to take. This is exactly why we created, and I'm super excited and honored to share this with you, the VIP Recession-Proof Package. If you're serious about thriving in the new economy and you're ready to get the proven roadmap, make money online, and create real freedom, this is for you. Now, let me ask you a question. At what speed do you want to grow your business? And most people say fast, but what they do is slow. They try to continue absorbing a bunch of random information versus cutting their learning curve in half or paying for speed, right? I want to help you implement all these actions consistently so you can start making money online. You can create consistent and predictable income and create more certainty in your life, because I've had a lot of uncertainty and life is so much more enjoyable when you have certainty. But most importantly, you can create freedom for yourself and your family to do what you want, create real financial success, and live a life on your terms, your own way. So after working with over 11,000 entrepreneurs, investing myself over $250,000 on personal development, and spending almost too much time researching and failing, we've created the complete system you need. So the VIP Recession-Proof Package is the fastest way to go from point A, where you are now, to point B, which is actually making money and getting results online while eliminating stress and overwhelm, right? So let me share what you're going to get. And I'm excited to kind of share these. Then we're going to go over some Q&A and I'll share the 14 ways that we've made money. So here's what you're going to get. First, you're going to get our flagship course, 6 months of 6 figures. So you have everything you need to maximize the next 6 months and imagine where you'll be in the next 6 months. So we have that'll be whatever month is in 6 months from now. Imagine where you'll be, maximize. This will actually teach you exactly how to make your first 1,000 online, how to figure out how to monetize your strengths. You get the complete 6 months of 6 figures flagship course, which is $19.97 usually. 43 detailed step-by-step training modules, 6 months of 6 figures complete workbook, the playbook on how I made 6 figures in 13 different industries, roadmap to crystal clear clarity for the next 6 months, and a complete system to design your ideal life. So this is $19.97 usually, okay? You also are going to get Millionaire Mentors Live monthly. Speed is the most valuable thing you can have in the new economy, and having people who can anticipate your problems and help you avoid common pitfalls is crucial, okay? So we've had some of the biggest speakers in the world, but you have access to those speakers every single month to help you. So you learn from the world's most successful people live. You have access to all previous recordings, new personal mentors each month. Get your questions answered in real time. Total value is usually $297 a month, so $35.64 for the year. So what you're going to get the complete 6 months of 6 figures flagship course, and you're going to get live monthly millionaires to kind of help you in your business, to share ideas, to talk about how they got there so you can raise your standards. Total value, $5,561. Obviously, that's not what you're going to pay, and I'll share that next. But you're also, once you get the best training and the best guidance and the best mentors, now it's time to come together and get all your questions answered so you have absolute clarity. Remember, the most deadly attitude you can have is I'll figure it out myself. You can elevate your network live. You have hot seats monthly. You get all your questions answered monthly, accountability and mentorship, access to my connections and my resources. And this is $1,164.97 a month, but total it's $1,164. So now you're going to have access to the complete 6 months of six figures course, which most people have paid $19.97 for. Live monthly millionaire calls, live Q&A sessions with other members, total value $6,725. Now, when I was transitioning, I had no clue what I wanted to do. I had no clue where to look on what was next. It took me 8 months to figure out how to maximize my strengths, what industry to go in, how to monetize my gifts, how to make money online. I've simplified this to the Ultimate Clarity tool. So this will help you figure out your unique ability, how to figure out what best industry is for you based on your strengths, how to monetize your strengths and unique ability, step-by-step questions on how to gain absolute clarity. So everything I did those 8 months, all the courses I took, all the mentors I paid, all the books I read, I simplified this so you can gain absolute clarity in just a couple weeks, maybe a month. Okay? Because it took me 8 months and it was a stressful 8 months. How to quit your job and make your first 1,000 as well. And this is the ideal program if you're just starting out. Total value $997. So what you're going to get, the complete 6 months, six figures flagship course, live monthly millionaire speakers, live mastermind with other members every month, mastering self-awareness plus maximizing your strengths course. Check this out. You're also going to get our internet money mastery training. Okay. This is our complete positioning versus prospecting training. So you actually have deep dive videos on how to position yourself, how to get testimonials, where to place them, how to leverage them, how to build an empire from scratch, exact 10-step process, how to create engaging content and leverage social media to grow your brand, how to create lucrative partnerships and affiliates, YouTube Secrets Masterclass. This is $997. We actually don't sell this anymore. It's only in this course. Now, everything we're giving you complements each other. So to help simplify, you're also going to get our, let me share that next. So you're going to get all these things we talked about, as well as the internet money package, total value $87.19. You're also getting my time management and productivity mastery class. This is purely focused on how to maximize your time. Okay. Now you'll be able to maximize your time and get more done and be able to prioritize. The new hustle mentality is gone. And now it's who can be more clever and work more strategically. So this is my 8-week time management course. And this isn't even online available. It's a proven system for focusing on maximizing your productivity. Okay. So $597, you get action plans to help maximize your focus, how to figure out what your time is worth per hour, productivity mastery interview series, 13 proven profit and value maximizers, how to make your time more valuable, and a deep dive implementation guide. Okay. So what you're going to get, complete 6 months of six figures, a step-by-step course, live mastermind calls with millionaires to get you help, live mastermind calls with other members to get your questions answered. If you're new, this will help you figure out what moves you want to make and how to monetize. You also get your internet money mastery training course and our entrepreneur breakthrough productivity class. Total value is $9,316. $9,003. Now, even if it was $9,000 for you, but it allowed you to have massive freedom and success, it might still be worth it, right? If all this did was give you access to a network of amazing and like-minded people, would it be worth it? Let me know. If all this did was help you make an extra 2 to 5K a month on your terms, would it be worth it? If all this did was help you claim maybe 8 to 10 hours of your freedom back, would it be worth it? So you might be asking, what's the investment? Well, for me, a 1-day mastermind intensive, 1-day training is 15 grand. One-on-one coaching, which I don't do anymore, is 4 to 8K a month. When I used to consult companies, it's 10,000 per month to work with some of their high achievers. Our in-person workshops are 2,500, which some of you guys may have been to. 60-minute speech is now 30K, not 20 or 25. I've raised my price, 30K. Okay. I stopped doing most of these things and put all my energy into helping people make money online, especially because of this recession. So what's the investment? You can try and figure everything out on your own and spend thousands upon thousands, or you can hire a consultant for $10,000. Remember, I get paid now 30K for an hour speech, and I've turned down 5,000 per month to teach this same content. So how much will this cost you? It's not the one-day price of $15,000 or $83.19. It was what most people paid. And just for the 6M 6F course, it's $19.97. Not that. The lowest we've done a webinar is $9.97. And it's not even the discounted online price we've done for the Recession-Proof about 6 months ago. You get the complete Recession-Proof package. This is just for the action takers and those willing to bet on themselves. We're doing a one-time only Recession-Proof webinar special. We felt like this was the right time. We wanted to unleash this and share this with a special group. We wanted to make it affordable for you, but also we wanted it to kind of challenge you a little bit. You can roll today for only $197, 3 investments. Or, now I'm going to give you this link, and we're going to do something special for the first people. I know you're excited. So I'm going to give you this link, and you can open up a new browser and go to this link. You can see everything you get. It's peterjvoog.com/go. peterjvoog.com/go. Or you can save almost $100 and make a one-time investment of $497. $497. And you have 2 options. You can really try to figure everything out on your own, which isn't the answer. You could study a bunch more free stuff online, and you can invest in a course maybe that someone put together a couple months ago without any proven results. Or you can pony up a small investment, bet on yourself, and start making money online. The only way to 10x your business this next 12 months is not just by building a brand online, but by being around other people that have done it. You can keep watching free stuff online. You can keep trying to do everything yourself. You can keep reading the books and listening to podcasts. But the quickest and most proven way is by having a proven system with a proven network. It's time to get off the sidelines and join the internet money revolution. And this isn't about if, but now it's about when it's going to happen. And the online revolution is really happening now. So all access VIP Recession-Proof package, one time only, $497. So I want to talk about some experience, some real people, real results, and some real breakthroughs as well. So this is Edward. And by the way, guys, I'm super excited to answer questions and to share anything else that you guys want to know with you. But the reason I'm sharing these is it's one thing me saying something, but these are real people that have gotten real results from it. After going through 6 months of 6 figures, 2 times back in September, I began reaching out to mentors, playing the game at a higher level. Within a month, I had 2 6-figure mentors and a multiple 7-figure. Fast forward to today, my income is literally 10x where I'm at, making 6 figures per year. I'm making 10,000 per month. And Matt, he's 23. He was at this time. Imagine being 23 years old, making $10,000 a month. Right? And this is after he paid $1997 just for the 6 months of 6 figures course. That's included with everything else, and it's a huge discount. Since starting my own business, I went from working 70 hours a week to working just 20 or 30. Best of all, I'm making more money than ever. I love the energy Peter brings every single day. It's incredible. I get inspired and fueled knowing he intensely cares about my success and knowing he is deeply committed to me achieving my goals. When she first started in the program, she was making $60K a year. Now she's going to be at close to $1 million. Okay, pretty amazing. Imagine what it would be like to work less and make more. Here's Grant. I guarantee it's going to put results in your life. Follow these principles and great things happen. I know we did. And we took one of our businesses from 5K to $250,000 revenue per month. Now we're building a new salon and making influential partners in our area. Follow suggestions, do what he says. His principles work. Okay. So if you're serious, you can go check that out. We're still going to do Q&A. I still have some things to share. There's a bonus I want to share with you as well. But our team has an important philosophy to live by. And I'm going to share a couple more testimonials first, but I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Hold on. All right. So peterjvoog.com/go. I want to make sure you guys can hear the recording. This guy went from literally frustrated and confused to 6 figures a month. Frustrated and confused to 6 figures a month. And he kind of shares kind of what he did. And I want to share this with you as well.
Yo, what's up, Peter and team? My name is Brian Ostermiller. I just wanted to take a second and really just send you a quick testimonial and thank you for doing what you do and being who you are. 2 years ago, I was in college and really stressed out because I had no direction. I wasn't quite in this online marketing world yet, and I didn't really know what to do. Everybody around me just kept telling me to stay in college and stick it out, but I was depressed and miserable. And Peter was one of the very first people that I came across on Instagram that was preaching about entrepreneurship and talking about how we can do things differently. And he was really the first person I started listening to and who opened my mind to different possibilities, right? Like, I'm sure a lot of you have felt like you're in a position where you're just stuck and everybody around you is telling you to stick to the status quo. And Peter was the first person who really enlightened me that I don't have to do that and that there was a different way that I could go about doing things. So I ordered his book, 6 Months to Six Figures, read the book, and at first I didn't quite grasp it. I had to read it a few times. And now, 2 years later, I'm out of college. I quit my corporate job that I got after college, and now I have an online marketing company. And not only, let's see if I can show this to you, just so I can show you how legit it is. Not only am I doing 6 figures a year, but we're actually doing, see if you can see this, over 6 figures a month. So this is our Stripe account. You can see if I refresh it. In the last 4 weeks, we've done $120,000. The 4 weeks before that, we did 92. So hopefully that wasn't too blurry. But honestly, Peter, I think it would have taken me a long time to get to a place mentally where I felt comfortable breaking out and stepping out and doing something different. So if any of you are on the fence and you feel like you're stuck, I think Peter's an excellent person to listen to and to follow and to take advice from. So thank you for all you're doing. Keep doing it. Keep crushing it. Much love. Peace.
So from frustrated to 6 figures. And guys, we've designed the program to help you make your money back within the first 30 to 60 days. This is the best way to absolutely solidify the next 12 months being breakthrough and being your best ever and turn uncertainty into confidence. I do want to welcome Rachel and welcome Ellie and welcome, I can't keep up, and welcome Angelina Perez. Excited to get you guys going. Welcome Richard Torres. Welcome Lacey Mihei. I'm excited. I can't read everybody, but I'll try to get to you guys. Let's join the digital revolution together. And I invite you to join those in the know of the new wave of successful entrepreneurs. Enroll now and step up to the plate. Help other people take advantage of this opportunity. You've made it this far for a reason. And I want you to think about in a couple of years when you run a successful online business, you own multiple houses, you're living life on your terms, looking back and realizing the reason all of this is happening is because you bet on yourself and you invest in yourself. So peterjvoog.com/go. Now, I want to share another one from corporate because a lot of people are wanting to escape the rat race. This is Rob, who had a full-time corporate job making 6 figures and was totally able to quit that job and become an entrepreneur. Now he lives life on his terms and he makes a lot more than he did at his corporate job from his home, from his cell phone. Pretty amazing.
I originally signed up for Peter's program because I just wanted to make more money. But as I was going through the program and the process, I realized that I wanted more out of my life and more out of my career. And beyond that, the program helped me lay out tangible actions that I could take to move the needle in the right direction to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. And in the end, I made drastic changes to my life. I left my job. I'm now an entrepreneur. I'm living the lifestyle that I want, and I'm focused on the needle-moving activities that are driving my business forward. All thanks to Peter and his program. So thanks so much, Peter. I wouldn't be here without you.
So imagine being able to just quit your job and doing what you love and making money online. I'm going to show you one more video, then we're going to go through a couple more things. This is someone that also was able to double her business just from our guidance. But you can check it out.
In May, and since then I've crushed it this year and my business has made over $100,000 more than we made last year. So if you're nervous about investing yourself, especially as a young female entrepreneur, what you have to understand is it's super intimidating being around all these men that are killing it. But the biggest thing that you can do to make sure that you're on that same level is to invest in yourself at the same level. Stop downplaying your skills and your mindset to try to match where everyone else is. Get to that next level on your own, and investing in yourself, it's going to pay you back 10 times more than that.
So the most common struggles that we've seen: inconsistent and unpredictable income, fear and uncertainty around leaving their job, lacking confidence and scared for the future, and there's no support system, okay? What the VIP Recession Proof is focused on is maximizing your income online on your terms, giving you a proven step-by-step roadmap so there's no confusion, and helping you gain clarity and develop an unstoppable confidence by getting you results, and giving you a solid support network plus accountability. But obviously, we can't want the success for you more than you want it for yourself. So how much would this be worth to you in the next 5 years? What if this helped you make an extra $5K per month? What if this helped you save 15 hours a week of frustration, and now you have a little more time freedom? How much would this be worth in your lifetime? Okay. Why go through all the trouble to try to figure everything out on your own when you can literally just model exactly what I've did to create millions of dollars in sales and profits online while building a life and business on my terms? I will take you by the hand and show you exactly how I did it. Okay. And I want you guys to know I'm super excited for you guys that have taken action already. And I hope you understand this isn't for me. This is about you at this point. This will not shift my life at all, one iota, if you buy or don't buy. But I promise you it'll shift yours. Okay? This could be the thing you've been waiting for. And if you're looking for a sign, this is it. But you have to take action. And yes, I can help push you over the edge, but you have to still take a leap of faith in yourself. And by the way, if you are skeptical, I get it. There's so much BS out there, right? But that's why we want to show you a lot of proof and really help you take you step by step and get you real results. So nothing I've shared with you is theory or hopes or wishes. It's all from me actually being in the trenches. And I've shared these same things with others around the world and helped them create a life on their terms. Doesn't matter how much experience you have or what you've done in your past. So you have two options right now. You can try and figure it out on your own. And maybe you just wanted to get some more information. I hope you got value. There's still a couple things I want to share. There's some pretty insane bonuses that I'm sharing in a second. But you're going to eventually have to spend money and invest in yourself. And usually it's too late where you've already wasted a ton of time. Like that was one of my biggest mistakes. Or you can get the proven roadmap. You can cut your learning curve in half. You can get to your goals much quicker. And you can start making real money online. Okay, you can start making real money online. Now, I'm going to share this with you guys. Our team has a philosophy that we live by. If we can't make you money, then we don't deserve yours. So we have a results guarantee. Okay, just to let you know. So if you don't get results, if you don't see success, if you don't make money, you could download everything, check everything out, and email us back within 14 days. We'll refund you the full amount. No questions asked. No hard feelings. We're so confident in our program. Okay, look, I've been through a lot of tough things, and I know money could be tight. That's why I made sure that this guarantee was something that can't be passed up. You know what I mean? There's no risk. The only real risk is inaction. That's why I said the guarantee is the best out. 100% results guarantee. Okay. If we can't make you money, we don't deserve yours. There's also PayPal credit. No payments, no interest, paid in full within 6 months. So you can literally apply for this. You can make the full payment of $497 and you have 6 months to pay it off. And by that time, I promise you'll make a lot more than that, right? So join today, the VIP Recession-Proof Package. What you're going to get, let me explain again. And my team keeps sending, hold on. Welcome, Angela Smith. I don't want to butcher your last name. Nathan Fitz, welcome. As the people keep sending stuff in, I'll go in. Welcome, Bethany F. Welcome, Henry B. Henry Black. Welcome, Nathan Dean. Welcome, Peyton Armani. So you get the complete 6 months of Six Figures flagship course. You get the millionaire guest speakers plus the mentorship calls. You get live calls every month with other members. You get our complete internet money training package. You get the Mastering Self-Awareness and Monetizing Your Strengths course. You get the Entrepreneur Breakthrough Productivity Masterclass. And you get my connections, my resources, and my experience working for you and for your business. Total value is $9,316. Now, if you paid the $9,000 and it made you $15,000, would it be worth it? The answer is yes, right? So peterjvoog.com/go. This offer will not last long, by the way. The special webinar promotion is only until Monday at midnight. Then it goes up to everything being full priced again. So you can still join later, but if you want all of these things, it's going to cost you over $9,000, which that's still a good deal, right? But you're getting it now for almost 90% off, right? Good news. It gets even better. This is crazy. I want to do something extra special for you. I call this the no excuses, no brainer special. Okay. I'm going to give you a bonus just because I'm in a good mood and I talked to my team, and we're going to really, really make it a no brainer and go all in with you. So when this recession hit, okay, I reached out to the 12 most successful entrepreneurs I knew in the world. And this is people like David Goggins and Patrick Bet-David and Ryan Blair and Lewis Howes and Mel Robbins and Ed Milet and Bedros Cooley and some of the biggest in the game, right? And I interviewed them on Zoom. And I am going to give you, I asked them these questions, by the way. What to do right now to prepare for the next stages of your life and business in this pandemic? Where are you investing your money for the biggest returns? What are the best ways to capitalize on what's happening right now and make real money? The best and most proven side hustles for those who have never made money online. How do you ethically sell and run a business as normal when the world's in a state of panic? So I asked the 12 most successful people I knew all these questions. We talked for 45 minutes on video. It was private. I asked them if I could share this. They said yes. Actually, I interviewed 15, 12 said yes. So you get these 12 interviews of some of the world's brightest minds sharing how they're pivoting and how they're managing and what they're doing in their business to maximize their profits in the recession. This right here is extremely valuable. This is worth $19.97 by itself. That's included. Also, the internet money movement. Okay, check this out. You get, this is crazy. So we have an internet money movement mastermind. It's called the Internet Money Crypto Group. You get crypto mastery sessions. So we give you the foundation of crypto, how to master the game, what exchanges to use. We give you a private Telegram group with 5 crypto millionaires, new millionaire and billionaire crypto experts each month. And actually we have one tomorrow. So if you're in this, you get your first crypto expert live tomorrow. Now, if you're not into crypto, you don't got to worry about it. But I've never seen this kind of money being made as it is right now, because we give people real-time trades, what to buy, how to buy, when to sell, all these things. You get meet other game changers and ask questions live as well. Some of these testimonials are insane, okay? Total value of this is $9.97. To continue linear, 2,000 in January, returning to 35,000 in December. I'm no accountant. I grew my investment portfolio 30% over the last 30 days. Okay. Showing his actual account. Not financial advice. Whatever you can budget for investing will pay off in the next few months. I have grown my portfolio from 35K in November of last year into 160 plus from my own experience with crypto and the support of the inner circle. I want to stay in the group. At the beginning of the year, I had to start all over with 1K 4 months later, about to reach 6 figures, hopefully 7 figures by the end of the year. Would like to stay part of the community. I will stay active. $97,000 in his account, 4 months to 6 figures. Just the beginning. It's 10X from here. We'd like to thank each and every one of you guys. Where I am now wouldn't be possible without you guys. He has 100,000 in his account. I believe he started with 10K. Got to be in it to win it. Focusing on yourself. Don't compare, because I didn't. No time to waste. Let's go. Our inner circle is not to be taken lightly. I profited 26,000 in a week from an 18,000 investment from a coin most of us invested in within our group. You're the man. I will try not to live with any regrets, but the one I struggle with is not elevating my circle sooner. But like you say, man, you can't live in the past. So F it. I'm here now. 1 month of crypto investing, I made 16,000. Thank you, brother, for your guidance. Imagine making $16,000 in 1 month. Now, you also get access to our next millionaire guest speaker, which is the peak performance coach and personal trainer of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, who is Tim Grover, the author of the book Relentless. You get access. He's going to talk about how to reach the 1% of peak performers, the hidden secrets to 10x your productivity, how to bulletproof your mental toughness. And of course, you'll get to meet other game changers and ask questions live. This call is going on Monday, but they emailed our team today and said they might have to change times. But once you get access to the VIP and you actually bet on yourself and you're in, you'll get all the updates as well. So I'm super excited for this. Imagine getting trained by the best in the world at what they do. You'll become unrecognizable okay? The next 6 months to a year, right? And look, I understand you. Sometimes you don't feel like your intelligence matches your bank account. You're sick of all the BS out there. You want a proven roadmap. Maybe you're scared to invest because money's tight and you're not sure it'll pay off. The money's going to be spent anyways. Okay. You might as well spend on something that's going to actually help you and level you up. Okay. So what you're going to get, the complete 6 months of 6 figures course, $19.97 value. So you have a roadmap for the next 6 months, millionaire guest speakers, plus all the mentorship calls, live mastermind Q&A sessions with other members, the internet money mastery training package, the full entrepreneur breakthrough productivity masterclass. Now, if you're newer and you want to learn how to figure out what industry to get into, what your strengths are, how to maximize and monetize your strengths and literally make money from your gifts, this course is for you. It's included. You get the Elite Perspectives interview series, and you get the Internet Money Crypto Mastermind group. This is the only time we'll ever do this kind of deal. Even my business partner, Horace, who's I think on the call, told me that this is, you're giving away too much. I just want to help people out in this rough time, but you got to be willing to bet on yourself. Okay. You got to be willing to bet on yourself and actually go in and get your skin in the game. So, and you get my resources working for you. Total value, $12,607 today. If you invest in yourself, all for $497 or $197. So you get everything here plus what I mentioned for $197. So here's what to do next. Go to peterjvoog.com/go and enroll. Check your email for the login info. Check your spam and junk if you don't get it. If you paid PayPal, which I think some of you paid PayPal, then you will get access a little bit later. Our team will create that access for you. Watch the welcome and the framework video to get you in the right state of mind. And then there is a millionaire time management mastery video that's going to help you start thinking and acting like a millionaire right away. Because you can, if you want to become a millionaire, you got to think and act like one and make decisions like one would, or else you'll never get there. Okay. Download the 6 months of 6 figures implementation guide and get ready for Mastery Module 1. Now everything will be in the first video you watch. It'll tell you exactly what to do so you'll have clarity. But imagine learning from some of the best people in the game. And I want to share this because some of you guys that want to kind of quit your 9-to-5 or want to transition to online, this is a great example again of someone who literally had a full-time 9-to-5 job that quit and was able to replace his income just from training people, just from being a personal trainer. Pretty amazing. And then we'll go through some more results. So peterjvoog.com/go. Welcome all of you guys that have joined. I'm excited. I want to read all your names, but it's hard right now. I can't keep up. So I will a little bit later try to read everybody's name. Okay, this is Mark Nendick.
Been following Peter for about 5 years now, and I saw the possibility of maybe one day doing my passion full time. And throughout the years, as I kept going, kept chipping away, I was making $15,000 a year on the side while making 6 figures at my job. And slowly, as I started doing personal development, inner circles, I went from 15 grand to 50 to this year I'm going to do over 6 figures and replacing that income for my full-time job. You know, so a lot of people that have full-time jobs really think that there's no way out of that full-time job. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way. Find something that you love doing and chase it until you actually reach your dreams. Yeah, so when I started talking about quitting my job and leaving my 6-figure income, people thought I was crazy. You know, it's a guaranteed salary for life, and why would you risk it? You know, I'm 41 years old. When you turn 40, people just assume, okay, this is my career, this is what I'm gonna do for the next 30 years. I'm gonna make my 6 figures, have a decent house, go on a vacation once a year. I was taking 2 weeks of vacation a year for the last 12 years. Now I can go where I want, when I want. You know, right now we're in Beverly Hills for this Inner Circle event, and the only reason I can do that is because I have my own business.
So imagine once again, guys, being able to do what you love full time, right? This is the dream, right? How long have you been thinking about starting your own business or investing in crypto or making money online? How long have you been thinking about quitting your job? How long have you been thinking about creating life on your terms, right? This is more results. I'm not going to keep going through these, but the reason I put this up here, this is one of our clients that our business partner helped. This is $782,000, okay, in a month. So remember, there's no shortage of money. There's only a shortage of people willing to bet on themselves and willing to become more valuable. Most people just wait and hope and dream for things and never actually take any action. Most people will spend $40,000 on a college education and learn nothing, and they won't bet on themselves when there's proven systems and programs. Most people spend most money on cars and shoes and clothes and things that make up for their insecurities, but not on things that will sharpen their perspective and give them real freedom. It mind boggles me, but it really does make sense why most of society struggles. It really does. Here's from May 2018 to May 2019, 1.4 million. And there's different ways to make money, like online store, Amazon, Shopify, all kinds of ways. We want to teach you those ways. This is January to December, 4.6 million, right? Imagine learning from some of the biggest in the game. The only question is, what will your story be? peterjvoog.com/go. I'm super excited. And if you're asking like, what industry are you in, or is it relevant to you? Liz owns a bookkeeping company. We've had people that have law firms. We've had e-commerce kids. We've had network marketers. Mark does health and wellness coaching, networking and network marketing and direct sales. We've had entrepreneurs that are artists. We've had engineers. We've had musicians and hip hop artists, right? Literally, we've had every single type of person. The common theme is they want to make money that's not attached to their time. So my only question for you is, what will your story be? And I want to help you design that. And the number one thing that I've seen in the last 15 years, in my experience, hold most people back is they never tell themselves right now matters. They're living on someday someday I'll be successful. Someday I'll make money online. Someday I'll invest in myself. Not right now. Everything has to be perfect. And then they hang around other people that are also on someday aisle. Most people spend the first half of their life saying they're too young and the second half saying I'm too old. Now matters more than ever. You might not get an opportunity like this. There will be more opportunities, of course. We're always trying to add value. But with this package and how relevant and catered it is to right now, there's not much else like that. And that's why we put this guarantee in place. And I would bet this program against anything. Nothing touches this level of content, this level of expertise, the level of the millionaire guest speakers, the mastermind calls, and the training, plus the guarantee, right? Now matters more than ever. Now, let's think about it, guys. So people ask like certain things why people aren't successful. Can you picture or imagine someone that has made a lot of money in entrepreneurship? Maybe they have a lifestyle you're inspired to be like, or you want to have. Can you picture someone that you look up to or respect in the industry you want to be in? Someone that has a lifestyle that you want to emulate, someone that you are trying to be similar to. Get that person in your mind. Can you picture that person? Now, can you also picture someone in your mind that is struggling, that maybe failed as an entrepreneur? Okay, that maybe has lost everything. Maybe they have fear. Okay, they've tried business and they've failed. Let me ask you a question. Why? So get someone in your head that's succeeding and crushing it, and then get someone in your head that is maybe struggling or failing. Why is there such a disparity right now? Why are some making six figures, some making millions, and some failing and losing everything? Is it A, lack of opportunity? Or is it B, lack of knowledge and network? Comment below. Tell me, why do most people struggle? Is it lack of opportunity or is it lack of knowledge and network? Yeah, you're more right than you know. It's lack of knowledge and network, right? Most people aren't thriving. Most people want. They want everything, but they don't ever invest in themselves or take any action. If you don't invest in yourself, no one else will, and you can't expect success. Okay, if I ask 100 people right now, if I ask everyone on this, how many of you guys want to crush it this year and make the most money you've ever made? Everybody raises their hand. Everyone's excited. They're pumped up. They're fired up. But if I fast forward 1 year, 95% of people won't actually make any more money, or they'll be in a worse spot than they were before. and 5% will actually be where they want to be because they bet on themselves and they took action and they executed like we talked about. So that's why I'm so passionate about this. Now matters more than ever. Okay. So this is for you if your bank account doesn't match your ambition. This is for you if you're sick of having a boss or working too hard. This is for you if you need clarity and a proven framework to follow. This is for you if you want more predictable and consistent income. And this is for you if you want real flexibility, freedom, and an inspiring lifestyle. Not everyone wants that. A lot of people value security over freedom, right? I get that. But this is for the people that really do have that nagging pull inside them, right? So how do you inspire others? People always ask me, this is the top question I get. How do I inspire my mom, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my wife, my husband, my son, my daughter, my brother? Here's the answer. You don't. You live your best life. You practice what you preach. You walk the walk. You don't need to talk the talk. So how you inspire others is by living your best life. How you inspire others is by lighting yourself on fire so others come and watch you, right? I want you guys to be on fire. I want you guys to be taking advantage of what's happening right now, like a lot of people will do. There's going to be millionaires created every single day the next year. I want you to be one of them. Now, I'm not promising you're going to make millions, but I will promise you'll be in a better position you were before. And I'll also promise that you'll make the money you spend back very, very quickly, right? If you execute and take action. So keep that in mind as well, okay? So how do you inspire others? You bet on yourself and you live your best life. When you can live your best life, that's when you inspire other people, and that's when you're going to change the game. So we're going to do some Q&A. The most common questions we get that I'm going to write up here that I've seen some of you guys ask that my team has shared with me, I'm going to answer those in a second too. So get your questions ready, guys. I'm excited to answer those. So these bonuses will be good for the next 30 minutes, by the way, all of them. So is this relevant to my business? Someone asked, like a lot of people ask, is this relevant to my business? I've talked about a lot of businesses that we've had in terms of like who we've helped. And this is relevant to anybody that believes they need to either take their business online or understands that everything is going online and they maybe want to transition and quit what they do and start an online business. So this is relevant if you want to make money online, if you want to scale your business online, if you want to reach more people online, if you want to position yourself online, if you want to totally transition out of what you're doing into online, then it's relevant. Is it good if I'm just starting? I would have killed to have something like this starting out. This is the best place to start because there's a whole section focused on helping you figure out what industry to get into, how to find your unique ability, and then how to monetize that, right? So this is probably the best thing you could have if you're starting out because you don't have to read 100 books and listen to random podcasts. Most people take random acts of action. Most people study random free stuff online, and that's why most people are struggling. Don't be like most people. Be a specialist, be an expert, pay for speed, right? Pay to elevate your network. I don't have the time. Okay. I don't have the time. Well, here's the deal. This should be the number one reason you do join if you don't have the time, so you actually can get your time back. If you're only making more money when you work more hours, you just have a high paying job and you'll never have freedom. So I tell people, if you don't have time, like if you're working 80, 90, 100 hours a week, you better be making at least 5 million. Like if you're spending every waking hour doing something, make sure that you have financial freedom. If not, you're doing too much for too little. I thought it was all about hard work. So I'd work 80 hours a week. And when I realized that it's not about hard work, it's about working right. It's about what you put in the hours. It changed my entire perspective and my entire life. So if you don't have the time, that should be the number one reason you actually do invest in yourself and bet on yourself. Can I do it later? Yes, but it'll be back up to full price and you have to buy everything separately. And someone said like, that's a lot of money. It actually, so the perspective is it doesn't cost, it's a huge return on investment. And the best way to maximize the next 6 months is to follow a proven roadmap. It's a return on your time. It's a return on your income, and it's a return on your peace of mind, which is priceless. Okay. So if you don't have a business yet, if you don't have the time, that's one of the reasons you want to invest in yourself. Let me tell you a story, which is interesting. I'm a giver. I sometimes get taken advantage of because I'm such a giver. I give more than I take. I take the short end of the stick a lot. When I first created our Game Changers Academy and a program like this back in the day, I was going to give it for free. I'm like, I'm just going to give it to people for free because I want more people to enjoy it. I don't want people to pay for it. And luckily, my mentor at the time said that was the worst thing you can do, because when people pay, they pay attention. And if everyone gives it for free, they won't take it serious and you won't have the right people. I said, what do you mean? And he said, the reason you don't want to do it for free is because you want people to have their skin in the game. You'll attract higher level people. They'll have a better chance of executing. It's worth more to them subconsciously. And when they pay attention. So realize we made it affordable, but I also wanted to challenge you a little bit, right? And the best way to improve your reality is to deal in reality. So really, really figure out, if you're on this, a lot of you guys have already joined, I'm super excited to get you going. But if you haven't taken action, you have to figure out why. And maybe it's not for everybody, but if you're serious, something's holding you back, figure that out, because that can be holding you back in a lot of other things as well. Right? I want to take you by the hand and help you and guide you, but I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. That's the biggest thing. So ask yourself why, right? Maybe you've made a bad investment in the past. It didn't pay off. Here, there's no risk because it's 100% results guarantee. Right? Imagine not having to worry about what actions you take or where to spend your time, and having certainty you're being as intentional as possible. Imagine knowing you have kind of like the secret sauce and having so much confidence because you have a roadmap nobody else has. Imagine having complete certainty you're being as productive as possible for your family and those you care about. Just picture that for a second, okay? I'm excited for you guys that have bet on yourself. Now, if you haven't, I hope you got some value. I still want you to follow me, and I still appreciate your support. This is not just about people that buy, but I like to give opportunities for people that really do want to take the next step, that want to get some of their skin in the game. Because really, when you do pay, you pay attention. One of the reasons that I decided to always pay for masterminds, I've paid so much money in the past 10 years. I've paid people 15, 20K for a day of their time. When I was newer, I paid $1,250 a month to a millionaire mentor. Here's why. It's called systemizing your growth. The reason you should always, and whether you invest in this or not, let's not worry about this anymore. Okay, this is a great option, but if it's not for you, no problem. I'm going to share the 14 ways we make money next, by the way. And any questions you have, comment below, and then I'll have my team send me those. I want to share everyone that's joined. Daniel, if that's who I think it is, I am proud of you for joining. Daniel D from Oregon, I'm excited. Nancy Tradine, congrats. Sarah, you guys have some last names that are hard to say. Sarah Hooslander. I'm going to try to get through these. Brian, Kevin Dawson. Horace, congrats. I'm excited. Brian Bronson. Lisa Meyer, congrats. Tyler Puffin, congrats. Did I say Sarah? Sarah Doyle, congrats. Two different Sarahs. Mary Slayton, congrats. Tyreek Reddix, congrats. Maya V, congrats. And I'll finish. There's a lot of you guys joining. I'm super excited. I'm ready to go. We got a millionaire guest speaker tomorrow, and then we also have one Monday. So you guys are going to be so. I was talking to my trainer the other day because he wakes up so early. He's fired up. He loves what he does. He's more fulfilled and happy and inspired and excited than some of my friends that are making $100 million. So I realized at that point, it's not about the money. Waking up inspired, waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning, ready to take on your day, excited about the profits, excited about freedom. That's priceless. That's priceless. Think about that. When's the last time you woke up so inspired to take on the day that nothing can stop you or get you out of your zone? That's what this is about. That's why it's like, is 197 worth waking up inspired, having a great network, and being able to work towards your dreams and goals? Time waits for nobody. It's crazy how fast time's going. Like the fact that my son is 19 months is just like mind boggling to me. I feel like he was 1 week old like yesterday. So I just don't want to have it. For me, what inspires me, someone asked me what inspires you personally a while back. I want to look in the mirror when I'm 70, 80, 90 and have I want to look in my eyes and have no regret, knowing I maximized my potential. I did it my way. I built a legacy for my family. I built generational wealth, and I was fulfilled, and I loved what I did. And my funeral is packed. That's what I want. And I now get more fulfillment helping other people succeed than myself. So helping you succeed, taking you to the next level is way more fulfilling than me making more money or me something happening or one of my investments blowing up. That's not exciting as much anymore. For me, it's my family and it's helping people change the game. And I felt like I was called to do this because people are struggling. They don't have any guidance or a roadmap because there's so much fluff and BS out there. You know what I mean? So that's why we charge. We want people to get their skin in the game. And there's like a millionaire explosion happening right now. So many ordinary like men and women and even young kids are rising to the ranks of millionaire. And it's not like they share a secret. They just follow a simple framework, right? And I want you guys to kind of join those in the know. I feel like this is more of, it's a movement, but it's also a family as well. You know what I mean? Okay. Can you send me some questions that you're getting, Har, so I can, like the most common ones? All right, let's talk about this. These are the 14 ways that we've made money. And the average millionaire has 7 income streams, which I remember I only had 1 and then I had 2. So everyone that has more than 1 income stream once had 1. So don't get overwhelmed and think you have to do all these at once. The worst thing you could actually do is try to do 2 things at once. If you try to catch 2 rabbits, you catch none. Okay. So each of these took time, but what took all of these to the next level is having a proven roadmap. So first thing, coaching and mentorship. I've done coaching and mentorship for years. I don't do that anymore because it's not scalable to me. And I like to have something that has tremendous upside, but this is great for your first 6 figures. It's not that difficult. It's simple. It's not always easy, but it's simple to get the 6 figures coaching and mentorship, especially with the system I created. We've done masterminds and workshops. We've done masterminds over Zoom, and I've done workshops in person where we charge $2K a workshop, 10 or 15 people come, and it's 20 to 30K. We used to do them every other weekend. International public speaker. So I've been speaking in the US and speaking overseas. And the key to speaking is just getting the audience results, but positioning and knowing who to talk to book you and having a speaker reel. So there's just different ways to kind of get your ideas flowing. Books. I have books on Audible and Amazon. I make money with books on physical copy and hard and soft cover and Audible. We have an entrepreneur's journal out there. We have a clothing line called Young Ambition. We've done courses. We have 6 months to 6 figures. We have the Entrepreneur Breakthrough. We have 6-figure author. And actually, you get access to most of those in this offer. We have the Game Changers Academy, which is private and very hard to get into for elite entrepreneurs. We've done partnerships and affiliates. Okay. So in terms of a partnership, what that means is someone will pay us to promote their product, or we'll do a rev share where they have a product. So I did this with John Lee Dumas. He had a podcast course that helps people create a podcast, right? And I know people want to start a podcast. I didn't have this course, so I partnered with them and we sold it, and we were able to do a big launch because people wanted his course. He just paid me half. So if his course was $997 and I sold 100 of them, he would pay me $50,000, right? Even if I sold 10, he'd pay me $5K, half. Right? Social media partnerships. We've got paid highly. When you build a social media, people pay you highly to promote their stuff. So we've got paid by Marriott, by Bose, by Sony, by TEDx, by a couple like health companies. I've got paid over 6 figures just to promote stuff on Instagram. Right? So that's another way to make money. Real estate investing, duplexes, single family, fix and flips, buy it. I mean, there's all kinds of ways in real estate. Angel investing, e-commerce. I've got into that the last 2 years. I've also done hard money loans where you just loan someone money. You have to get it notarized. You have to have some certain things happen and do it logistically the right way. But if you do it and you have a promissory note and you know how to do it, which we can help you with, you can literally loan money out at like now it's like 10, 12, 15%. A couple of years ago, it was 6%, 8%. I have quite a bit of money out on 15 to 20%, right? And then cryptocurrency as well. So there's all kinds of ways to multiply your money right now. The key is knowing which one is first based on where you're at and based on your strengths, and then having a system on how to make sure you don't go through too much failure and challenge by kind of being around people that have already done it. Got it? So let's go back to this. Okay, let me look at some questions. How long is the offer? Monday at midnight, correct? I believe. You can ask my team. I think it's Monday at midnight. I can't afford it right now. I would change that wording to how can I afford it? And someone said this to me and I was mad at first, but it changed my life. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way. You will find a way. You can sell something you don't need. And I'm not saying to sell things. Some people have done like credit card, and you just got to find a way. Like, I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. Yes, crypto's involved. You get the crypto mastermind. We don't do loans. Some companies do. We just don't do that. If you already have the crypto group, then we can figure something out. Depends on how you paid. So I would still, this is still a 90-something% off, so it still makes sense. Yes, I invested in Tulum. I've bought quite a bit of property in Tulum. It's one of my favorite places to buy because it's like a hidden gem, and I have some connections on developers there and what to buy. If you're interested in buying in Tulum, I could definitely hook you up with my developer, my realtor guy. Any other? Let me see if there's any other questions. Hold on. Just signed up. Nicholas, congrats. Welcome. I'm excited for you. No way, Christy, you did PayPal. So Christy did PayPal. So by the way, guys, the guy that I showed you that is at $2 million in his account, and he started with 30K borrowing from the government. He actually joined this course like a year ago. This is the course, the Recession-Proof. It didn't have the crypto stuff in it, so he bought that separately, which is still a value, but now he has 2 million. So you have to have a vision. You have to understand. Think about it logically. I'm getting fired up because you guys that are investing in yourself, I'm so excited to blow your mind with value, and your expectations will be way more excited and they'll be blown away. We're going to exceed all your expectations because we haven't even shared some of the things you get. I want to surprise you. So the fact that Christy actually signed up through PayPal credit and now just made 5K in a week and now has over 10 grand saved, which is what she makes in 6 months at Walmart, is amazing. Christy, you're amazing. You inspire me. I love it. It doesn't matter what you've done in your past. Doesn't matter what people have told you. Think about this logically, guys. What else would you invest in than yourself? Just think logically. What else would you invest in? It blows my mind the stuff people invest in. Like they get their stimulus check and they buy a TV to watch Netflix, to watch other people succeed. It's like, then they're confused why they're broke. I think like 69% of Americans don't have access to $1,000, $2,000. It's because they're escaping reality. They're too busy watching TV, watching others succeed, watching others play sports, watching others do things versus betting on themselves. It's time to finally take a chance to bet on yourself. Amazing things happen when you bet on yourself, when you educate your mind, when you get around heavy hitters and game changers. Life is too short to be around toxic people who don't make you feel exceptional. And I'm so passionate because it makes, with how much research and study and mastermind groups and people I've talked to and places I've been and like speeches I've given, it makes so much sense why most of the majority struggles. It makes sense. Because they never invest in themselves and they don't like their reality, so they escape it. And if you escape your reality, when you come back to your reality, it's even worse. So we want people that want to better their reality, because time's going to go by anyways. And there'll be people on this exact call that make 6 figures the next 12 months. There'll be people on this exact call that make 7 figures the next 12 months. And there'll be people on this exact call that are watching this right now, whether you're watching this or the replay, that are in a worse position than you were before. And if you're not where you want to be, you got to figure out why. It's either you're not investing in yourself, you're around the wrong people, you're consuming too much information without taking any action, or you don't have the right vehicle and you're in a vehicle that you're stuck in. You have to figure that out or it gets worse. Can I pay you in SafeMoon? Best question of the night. The answer is yes, we'll figure it out. If you want to pay in Bitcoin and Ethereum, you guys can pay in crypto too. All you have to do is email, like, let me give you this email. Email peter@peterjvoog.com. Or Horace, can you give them your email too so they have it? Reach out to Horace. He will take care of everything and get you set up. He's the main guy that really runs everything behind the scenes. How to purchase in Tulum? Shoot me an email, Ray, and I'll help you out. It took me a while. I had to research for like a year, but now I have all the ins and outs. I have a specific lawyer that helps me in Tulum. How do I go about getting a mentor if I'm struggling with money? It's been a barrier as well to getting help with my entrepreneur dreams while I'm investing in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and living paycheck to paycheck until the market recovers. Yeah, there'll be a pretty big recovery too. So I would just be patient with that. I would be patient because you've already put in the work. And just try to add value if you can to mentors, and try to do what you can to kind of like go extra mile for them. Take action. Just purchase. Awesome, Jalen. Is crypto included in the program I bought 6 months ago? No. So we did this recession-proof. It wasn't included. Now it is. Patrick, I recognize your name. I think you've already been in one of the programs. Congrats, man. I love that you're back, ready to go. Let me look at the Q&A in that. Yeah, there's a lot of questions. I love that you guys are still hanging. I'm excited. Can you pay in Dodge? Yes, you can. Email me. Three people have asked if they can pay in Dogecoin. Dogecoin. All right, let me look at the other questions. Hold on. Let me go back on camera for you guys. All right. Stop sharing.